Chapter 4, Share Capital and Debentures. Article 43, Kinds of Share Capital. The share capital of a company limited by share shall be of two kinds, namely, first, equity share capital. In that, first would be with voting rights, or second would be with differential rights as to dividend, voting, or otherwise in accordance with such rules as may be prescribed, and the second type would be preferential share capital. Provided that nothing contained in this article shall affect the rights of the preference shareholders who are entitled to participate in the proceeds of winding up before the commencement of this Act. Explanation. For the purpose of this section, the equity share capital with reference to any company limited by shares means all share capitals which is not preference share capital. Preference share capital with reference to any company limited by shares means that part of the issued share capital of the company which carries or would carry a preferential right with respect to first payment of dividend, either as a fixed amount or an amount calculated at a fixed rate which may be free of or subject to income tax, and second, repayment in case of a winding up of repayment of capital of the amount of the share capital paid up or deemed to have been paid up, whether or not there is a preferential right to the payment of any fixed premium or premium of any fixed scale specified in the memorandum of articles of the company. Capital shall be deemed to be preference capital, notwithstanding that it is entitled to either or both of the following rights, namely, first, that in respect of dividends, in addition to the preferential rights to the amount specified in subclause A of clause 2, it has a right to participate, whether fully or to a limited extent, with capital not entitled to the preferential right aforesaid. That in respect of capital, in addition to the preferential right to the repayment on a winding up of the amount specified in subclause B of clause 2, it has a right to participate, whether fully or to a limited extent, with capital not entitled to that preferential right in any surplus which may remain after the entire capital has been repaid. Article 44, Nature of shares or debentures. The shares or debentures or other interests of any member in a company shall be movable property transferable in the manner provided by the articles of the company. Article 45, Numbering of shares. Every share in a company having a share capital shall be distinguished by its distinctive number, provided that nothing in this section shall apply to a share held by a person whose name is entered as holder of beneficial interest in such share in the records of a depository. Article 46, Certificate of shares. A certificate issued under a common seal, if any, of the company or signed by two directors or by a director and a company secretary wherever the company has appointed a company secretary, specifying the share held by any person shall be prima facie evidence of the title of the person to such shares. A duplicate certificate of shares may be issued if such certificate is proved to have been lost or destroyed, or has been defaced, mutilated, or torn, and is surrendered to the company. Notwithstanding anything contained in the article of the company, the manner of issue of certificate of shares or the duplicate thereof, the form of such certificate, the particulars to be entered in the register of the members, and other matters shall be as may be prescribed. Where a share is held in depository form, the record of the depository is a prima facie evidence of the interest of the beneficial owner. If a company with intent to defraud issues a duplicate certificate of shares, the company shall be punishable with fine which shall not be less than 5 times the face value of the shares involved in the issue of duplicate certificate, but may extend to 10 times the face value of the shares, or rupees 10 crores, whichever is higher, and every officer of the company who is in default shall be liable for action under section 447. Article 47, Voting rights. Subject to the provisions of section 43 and subsection 2 of section 50, every member of a company limited by shares and holding equity share capital therein shall have a right to vote on every resolution placed before the company, and His voting rights on a poll shall be in proportion to his share in the paid up equity share capital of his company of the company. Every member of the company limited by shares and holding any preference share capital therein shall, in respect of such capital, have a right to vote only on resolutions placed before the company which directly affects the rights attached to his preference shares, and any resolution for the winding up of the company or for the repayment or reduction of its equity or preference share capital, and his voting rights on a poll share be in proportion to his share in the paid up preference share capital of the company, provided that the proportion of the voting rights of the equity shareholders to the voting rights of the preference shareholders shall be in the same proportion as the paid up capital in respect of the equity shares bears to the paid up capital in respect of the preference shares. Provided further that where the dividend in respect of a class of preference shares has not been paid for a period of 2 years or more, such classes of preference shareholders shall have a right to vote on all resolutions passed before the company. Article 48. Variations of shareholders' rights. Where a share capital of a company is divided into different classes of shares, the rights attached to the shares of any class may be varied with the consent in writing of the holders of not less than three-fourths of the issued shares of that class, or by means of a special resolution passed at a separate meeting of the holders of the issued shares of that class. First, if provisions with respect to such variation is contained in the memorandum of or articles of company, or in absence of any such provisions in the memorandum or articles, if such variation is not prohibited by the terms of issue of the shares of that class, provided that if variation by one class of shareholders affects the right of any other class of shareholders, the consent of three-fourths of such other class of shareholders shall also be obtained, and the provisions of this section shall apply to such variation. Where the shareholders of not less than 10% of the issued shares of a class did not consent to such variation or vote in favor of the special resolution for the variation, they may apply to the tribunal to have the variation cancelled, and where any such application is made, the variation shall not have effect unless and until it is confirmed by the tribunal, provided that an application under this section shall be made within 21 days after the date on which the consent was given or on the resolution was passed as the case may be, and may be made on behalf of the shareholders entitled to make the application by such one or more of their numbers as they may appoint in writing for the purpose. The decision of the tribunal or on any application under subsection shall be binding on the shareholders. The company shall, within 30 days of the date of the order of the tribunal, file a copy thereof with the registrar. Where any default is made in complying with the provisions of this section, the company shall be punishable with fine which shall not be less than 25,000 rupees, but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees for, and every officer of the company who is in default shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine shall not be less than 25,000 rupees, but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees, or with both. Article 49. Calls on the shares of the same class to be made on uniform basis. Where any calls for further share capital are made on the shares of a class, such class shall be made on a uniform basis on all shares falling under that class. Explanation. For the purpose of this section, shares of the same nominal value on which different amounts have been paid up shall not be deemed to fall under the same class. Company to accept. Article 50. Company to accept unpaid share capital although not called up. First, a company may, if so authorized by its articles, accept from any member the whole or part of the amount remaining unpaid on any shares held by him, even if no part of that amount has been called up. Second, a member of the company limited by shares shall not be entitled to any voting rights in respect of the amount paid by him under subsection 1 until the amount has been called up. Article 51. Payment of dividend in proportion to amount paid. amount paid up. A company may, if so authorized by its articles, pay dividends in proportion to the amounts paid up on each share. Application of premiums received on issues of shares. Article 52. Where a company issues shares at a premium, whether for cash or otherwise, a sum equal to the aggregate amount of the premium received on those shares shall be transferred to a securities premium account, and the provisions of this account relating to reduction of the share capital of the company shall, except as provided in this section, apply as if the securities premium account were the paid up share capital of the company. 2. Notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1, the securities premium account may be applied by the company first towards the issue of unissued shares of the company to the members of the company as fully paid bonus shares. Second, in writing off the preliminary expenses of the company. Third, in writing off the expense of or the commission paid or discount allowed on any issue of shares or debentures of the company. Fourth, in providing for the premium payable on the redemption of any redeemable preference shares or of any debenture of the company. Fifth, for the purchase of its own shares or other securities under section 68. 3. The securities premium account may notwithstanding anything contained in subsection 1 and 2 be applied in subsection 1 and 2 be applied such classes of companies as may be prescribed and whose financial statement comply with the accounting standards prescribed for such class of companies under section 133. In paying up unissued equity shares of company to be issued to members of the company as fully paid bonus shares, or in writing off the expenses of or the commission paid or discount allowed on any issue of the equity shares of the company, or for the purchase of its own shares or other securities under section 68. Article 53. Prohibition on issue of shares at discount. Except as provided in section 54, a company shall not issue shares at a discount. Second, any share issued by a company at a discount price shall be void. Third, where a company contravenes the provisions of this section, the company shall be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees, but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees, and every officer who is in default shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with fine which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees, but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees, or with both. Issue of sweat equity shares. Article 54. First, notwithstanding anything contained in section 53, a company may issue sweat equity shares of a class of shares already issued if the following conditions are fulfilled, namely: A. The issue is authorized by a special resolution passed by the company. B. The resolution specifies the number of shares, the current market price, considerations, if any, and the class or classes of directors or employees to whom such equity shares are to be issued. C. Not less than 1 year has at the date of such issue elapsed since the date on which the company has commenced business. And D. Where the equity shares of the company are listed on a recognized stock exchange, the sweat equity shares are issued in accordance with the regulations made by the Securities and Exchange Board in this behalf, and if they are not so listed, the sweat equity shares are issued in accordance with such rules as may be prescribed. 2. The rights, limitations, restrictions, and provisions as are for the time being applicable to equity shares shall be applicable to sweat equity shares issued under the section, and the holders of such shares shall rank pari passu with other equity shareholders. Article 55. Issue and redemption of preference shares. No company limited by shares shall after the commencement of this act issue any preference shares which are redeemable. Second, A company limited by shares may, if so authorized by its articles, issue preference shares which are liable to be redeemed within a period not exceeding 20 years from the date of their issue, subject to such conditions as may be prescribed, provided that a company may issue preference shares for a period exceeding 20 years for infrastructure projects, subject to the redemption of such percentage of shares as may be prescribed on an annual basis at the option of such preferential shareholders, provided further that a. No such shares shall be redeemed except out of profits of the company which would otherwise be available for dividend, or out of the proceeds of a fresh issue of shares made for the purpose of such redemption. B. No such shares shall be redeemed unless they are fully paid. C. Where such shares are proposed to be redeemed out of the profits of the company, there shall, out of such profits, be transferred a sum equal to the nominal amount of the shares to be redeemed to a reserve to be called a capital redemption reserve account, and the provisions of this act relating to the reduction of the share capital of a company shall, except as provided in the section, apply as if the capital redemption reserve account were paid up share capital of the company. And D. First, in case of such class of companies as may be prescribed and whose financial statements comply with the accounting standards prescribed for such class of companies under section 133, the premium, if any, payable on the redemption shall be provided out of the profits of the company before the shares are redeemed, provided also that the premium, if any, payable on redemption of any preference shares issued on or before the commencement of this act by any such company shall be provided for out of the profits of the company or out of the company's securities premium account before such shares are redeemed. Second, in a case not falling under subclause 1 above, the premium, if any, payable on redemption shall be provided for out of the profits of the company or out of the company's securities premium account before such shares are redeemed. 3. Where a company is not in a position to redeem any preference shares or to pay dividend, if any, on such shares in accordance with the terms of issue, such shares hereinafter referred to as unredeemed preference shares, it may, with the consent of the holders of 3/4 in value of such preference shares and with the approval of tribunal on a petition made by it in this behalf, issue further redeemable preference shares to the amount due, including the dividend thereon, in respect of the unredeemed preference shares, and on the issue of such further redeemable preference shares, the unredeemed preference shares shall be deemed to have been redeemed, provided that the tribunal shall, while giving approval under this subsection, order the redemption forthwith of preference shares held by such persons who have not consented to the issue of further redeemable preference shares. Explanation. For the removal of doubts, it is hereby declared that the issue of further redeemable preference share or redemption of preference shares under this section shall not be deemed to be an increase or, as the case may be, a reduction in the share capital of the company. Fourth, the capital redemption reserve account may, notwithstanding anything in this section, be applied by the company in paying up unissued shares of the company to be issued to members of the company as fully paid bonus shares. Explanation. For the purpose of the subsection 2, the term infrastructure projects means the infrastructure project specified in Schedule 6. Article 56. Transfer and transmission of securities. A company shall not register a transfer of securities of the company or the interest of a member of a company in the case of company having no share capital other than the transfer between the persons both whose names are entered as holders of the beneficial interest in the records of a depository, unless a proper instrument of transfer in such form as may be prescribed, duly stamped, dated, and executed by or on behalf of transferor and the transferee and specifying the name, address, and occupation, if any, of the transferee has been delivered to the company by the transferor or the transferee within a period of 60 days from the date of execution, along with certificate relating to the securities, or if no such certificate is in existence, along with the letter of allotment of securities. Provided that where the instrument of transfer has been lost or the instrument of transfer has not been delivered within the prescribed period, the company may register the transfer on such terms as to indemnity as the board may think fit. 2. Nothing in subsection 1 shall prejudice the power of the company to register on a receipt of an intimation of transmission of any right to the securities by operations of law from any person to whom such rights has been transmitted. 3. Where an application is made by the transferor alone and relates to partly paid shares, transfers shall not be registered unless the company gives the notice of the application in such manner as may be prescribed to the transferee, and the transferee gives no objection to the transfer within 2 weeks from the receipt of notice. 4th, every company shall, unless prohibited by the provisions of law or any order of court, tribunal, or other authority, deliver the certificates of all securities allotted, transferred, and transmitted within a period of 2 months from the date of incorporation in the case of subscribers to the memorandum. Second, B. Within a period of 2 months from the date of allotment in the case of any allotment of any of its shares. C. Within a period of 1 month from the date of receipt by a company of the instrument of transfer under subsection 1, or, as the case may be, of the intimation of transmission under subsection 2 in the case of transfer of transmissions of securities. D. Within a period of 6 months from the date of allotment in case of any allotment of debenture, provided that where the securities are dealt with the depository, the company shall intimate the details of allotment of securities to depository immediately on the allotment of such securities. 5. The transfer of any security or other interest of a deceased person in a company made by his legal representative shall, even if the legal representative is not a holder thereof, be valid as if he had been the holder at the time of execution of the instrument of transfer. Where any default is made in complying with the provisions of subsection 1 to 5, the company shall be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 25,000 rupees, but which may extend up to 5 lakh rupees, and every officer of the company who is in default shall be punishable with fine, which shall not be less than 10,000 rupees, but which may extend up to 1 lakh rupees. 7th, without prejudice to any liability under Depositories Act 1996, 22 of 1996, where any depository or depository participant with an intention to defraud a person has transferred shares, it shall be liable under section 447. Article 57. Punishment for personation of shareholder. If any person deceitfully personates as an owner of any security or interest in a company, or of any share warrant or coupon is issued in pursuance of this act, and thereby obtains or attempts to obtain any such security in interest or any such share warrant or coupon, or receives or attempts to receive any money due to such owner, he shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which shall not be less than 1 year, but which may extend to 3 years, and with fine which shall not be less than 1 lakh rupees, but which may extend to 5 lakh rupees.